What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 47 of Park to Prem here with Nottingham Forest. Today we've got a triple header, the first of two coming in the next 2 days. It's going to be an intense end to the week with a hell of a lot to play for. Yes, if you missed the last couple of episodes, just to get you catched up, the league table looks a little like this. 4 league games left of the season for us. Wolves have a game in hand, which if they win they could leapfrog us. United are also breathing down our neck, and whilst Chelsea are a little off the pace, you can't really afford to disregard them even at this point in the season. So the plan is today to do the games against Manchester United, FC Porto, which is the Europa League semi-final first leg, and then a game against Everton, and then tomorrow we'll be doing it all over again, kicking things off with the first of, 3 games against Porto, and then we have Tottenham and West Brom to end the season. And then hopefully after that there's a cup final, but of course that is something we can't plan for just yet. Since you were last here, we've played 2 matches in the league, not ideal by any means. With this draw against Watford, we've kind of surrendered our ability to control our fate, because Wolves, if they were to win all their remaining games, would be champions. It finished 1-1 against Watford. They scored very early on. Nicely worked throw in into the box, and then following on from that, we got a goal courtesy of a Poyana assist. An incredible ball to Ionu. He was there at the back post, tucked it into the bottom corner, and we followed that draw up with another much better result. It finished 2-0 against Leeds, a Leeds United team who have caused us problems over the year. We got that early penalty courtesy of Poyana, nicely tucked away, and in the latter stages after they had a man sent off, after we dominated the majority of the game, Boyer scored a nicely placed header into the top corner. So just taking a look at our squad going into these games today, a little bit of an injury crisis still. Gonzalez is still out injured. Boyer still not really ready to play. Irk, by comparison, apparently can play 45 minutes, but he's still carrying that injury. So whilst the mini injury crisis that emerged last episode is slowly getting better, it's not quite solved in time for this very tricky game against Manchester United. In terms of the team selection for this game, I'm going to go with a fairly standard team, obviously with the exception of the front three, where Amlo is going to need to lead the line. I will say now, he's been a bit disappointing, only 2 goals in his last 5 games. Maybe today's the day that he can step it up. Maybe today's the day he earns that new contract that I already told him he earned last time, and I've now changed my mind on. You'll also notice that Poyana is going to be playing out on that left-hand side. He's had a very, very good first season in the league. He has slowed down perhaps a little bit as of late, but you know what? For a player of his age, 20 years old, coming to a new league, trying to establish himself, he has really impressed me this season. And you will notice out on the right, I'm going with Adrian Smith today over Ionu, and the reason I'm going with him over Ionu is because Ionu's been a little bit hit and miss, everyone. I feel like as an impact sub coming on with his incredible pace, he can be really, really good for us, but he was just missing one or too many one-on-ones for my own liking. Anyway, the rest of the team is very, very standard in terms of the team selection. So let's get into this first game. It's Manchester United at home, debatably the hardest game that we have in our final run into the end of the year. If we were to lose this game by 3 goals or more, United would go ahead of us on goal difference. But let's not think like that. There is tricky games across the board, actually, for teams with this group of fixtures. I will show you them in just a second. But Wolves haven't got an easy game. Neither have Chelsea. What you see with the league table now, it's almost certainly not going to be what it's like at the end of the year. But yes, this is our 4th to last game of the season. It's been a long season. It's been a tough season. It's been a season where no one's run away with it, I guess, besides Chelsea in the very first half. But with them falling off the pace, it really is well and truly up for grabs. I don't think there's going to be a season like this where, everyone slips up as much as has happened this year and no one really runs away. You can see Chelsea are at home to Leicester. Elsewhere, Wolves are taking on Man City. So we're hoping that Man City are going to do us a favour. It feels mad that with, 4 games left of the year, we're already in a situation where I have to kind of stare at the league table. It really is that close. Obviously, the big aim for us has to be to actually perform in this match here. This is a tricky, tricky game against a Manchester United team who are very, very good. And, it's cagey. First 25 minutes, not a single highlight. We are having all the shots despite having slightly less of the ball. But, nothing to report down here, everyone. It's not the exciting game we were hoping for, but what I would say is Man City are beating Wolverhampton Wanderers. Man City are beating Wolves. A win here, and if that result was to stay like that, we would have our title fate in our own hands. We have got a few too many yellow cards for my own liking, but let's ignore them. Smith to Poyana. Go inside Poyana. I mean, I can see what he's trying to do there, everyone. It's just not very good, is it? Anyway, we're going from one highlight, the first highlight of the game in the 40th minute, straight into another one. As Navio wins the ball with his 11 jumping reach that he's forever been critiqued for. It's a stick he's been beaten over the head for many times in his life. He won a header there, everyone. He's whipping it in. Amlo heads it back out to Navio, though. Options back post. Smith's there. And Adrian Smith, a player who's been with us since the championship days, came through the academy, just heads narrowly over the crossbar with what was, well, to be honest, one of the better chances of the half. It's weird, right? This is a really, really dominant display from us, but we need the goal. We need the goal. We know how Football Manager works. We know how football works. You can dominate a game, right? You can stop the opposition having any shots, but if they score with their first on target, that doesn't mean anything, all those shots you had. You can see, just looking at things here, if Wolves were to lose and we were to draw, we'd go ahead of Wolves by 3 points. So goal difference would be a factor, but we don't want it to be a factor. It's Adrian Smith to Piotr, and the captain nods it goalwards. I feel like his goal scoring has dried up a little bit from corners in recent years. But I mean, it's not a bad time to score one. He wanted it more than the Manchester United player at the near post, and it's, well, two players who were tearing it up in the Championship linking up. That brings a smile to your face. Unfortunately for us, United have a chance here. Barella headed away. Rashford to Barella again. They've got options in the middle here. Is Barella going to play it in? He is. It's a huge block by Silva, I think. He's going to get it away. And you know what? Smith's on a booking. I know he's had a good game. I just don't want to lose a man at this point. I'm going to bring in Ionu. And I'm also going to bring in Matti for Miguel Antonio. I just can't afford to lose a man here. Not in this game. We've dominated it for so long. A sending off really would ruin things for us. Even with, only 15 minutes left. Anyway, Toby and Matty having a little bit of link-up play. Now going to Silva. Options high up the pitch. We go to Poyana. Nice build-up play here. Picking out some really nice passes as Van Dijk is found. Charging forward on this right-hand side. Is he going to be able to get the ball into the box? He's gone down. For a second I was hoping for the penalty. It's not been given. And now they're going to break away with Reimer. And now it's with Guerrero. Toby. Huge save. He stands tall. I say his name knowing that we need him to come to the rescue. And to be fair, he's done that on a surprisingly consistent basis. Barella now with it though, whipping it in. Our midfield is getting tired, folks. It's been a long game. I'm going to take off Van Dijk and bring in Ricketts, I think. We have got a chance here. Ionu, fresh legs off the bench. He's quick as well, and I can only assume he just ran it out for a goal kick. He just went in a straight line and it went out. Anyway, there is only 5 minutes left in this game. We just need to hold on, lads. We just need to hold on here. Relax. No pressure. Ionu dribbling down this side. Inside to Ricketts. Amlo found. Amlo tucks it away. What a lovely goal. That should be the match right there. And breathe a sigh of relief, everyone. Breathe a massive, massive sigh of relief. 2-0. Amlo said he hadn't been scoring enough recently. He's been involved there. And to be fair, it's Ionu inside to Ricketts. Two of the subs linking up. Superb kind of just one-touch passing. The finish as well, first time. Superb. Not sure about the celebration. Amlo doing his kind of best wacky, wavy, inflatable tube man arm impression. I hope you guys know what I mean by wacky, wavy, inflatable tube people. You know the things you see outside garages where like they pump air through them and they go mad? That is the celebration he was pulling off there. And, well, to be fair, I'm not going to criticise how he celebrates because that is a massive, massive win for us. Under the excitement of us scoring, I didn't see how the other game ended. Man City won 2-0 against Wolves. Oh my. Oh my. That has blown the title race kind of open for us. United, you'd have to say now, are in the mud. We would have to lose 2 of our last 3 games of the season, which, let's be honest, given our previous ends to the season of this save game, it's kind of possible. But obviously Wolves, with a game in hand, are the only real team who are going to challenge us now. What remaining games have they got? That's what I want to know. They've been in really good form until recently, where they've just kind of been caught up by all their fixtures. They've got Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal. That feels really, really promising, everyone. I don't want to say it's ours to bottle now, but it is ours to bottle. I think there was a news inbox item about the title race. Yeah, you can see it here. Obviously, this is prior to the game that we just played. But, you know, you can see here, Wolves have got Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal to play. Manchester United still have to play Chelsea in their next game. Chelsea have got Wolves and United to play, and they've got Tottenham. And, well, we've obviously got Tottenham as well. That's not a freebie. Everyone's playing everyone except us. I don't want to get carried away. I think this is our title to lose, everyone. But anyway, as much as I want to reminisce, and not reminisce, but as much as I want to dwell on the fact we've got a Premier League to win, I want the treble. I want the Europa League one. And with that in mind, we've got a game against Porto. So let's go forward to it, shall we? Game number 2, away from home against Porto. This is big. I feel like the league is kind of now distracting me. The Europa League, you know, it's not the Champions League. But given the fact that I'd like to think we're going to be in the Champions League for the foreseeable future, this might be our only way to win, and the only time, I suppose, to win this competition. You can see here, Bayern Munich v Manchester City. The other semi-final is a pretty good one. I completely forgot that the Europa League is played on a Thursday. So as a result, the Wolves v Chelsea game has been played. Sadly for us, Wolves won it, so that little gap that we'd built up that looked like it existed, it doesn't really exist anymore, but it is kind of nice now to see the league table with everyone, at least that we're interested in, having played the same number of games, and it really does now just, it's ours and Wolves to battle over. Unfortunately as well, before we get into this bit of bad news, an injury on the training ground. It could have been any other position, but no, it had to be the wide attacking midfield area. Poyana, he is now out for up to 3 weeks. He may well miss, you know, the rest of the season, potentially a Europa League final if we were to get there. The only kind of shred of silver lining is the fact that Erk can now play 75 minutes. He's probably going to have to play the whole game, unfortunately for him. But obviously Gonzalez and Boyer, they're still injured. They might be fit for the last game of today's episode, but with their injuries both saying 4 to 9 days, I think that's looking even a little ambitious at this point. But anyway, let's get into this game against Porto. Erk starting back in the team is great. I've rested the team a little, but we are going to go with, I think, a similar team to the team that played last time. I am actually going to make one little change. I'm going to bring in Ricketts for Van Dijk, just because although, you know, the condition is all very, very green here, towards the latter stages of the previous game, you might have noticed it, the condition, particularly of the centre mids, was pretty bad. So my thinking here is start Ricketts, potentially take Lindelof in the latter stages of the game, where hopefully we've got a few away goals and we're cruising along to a Europa League final. But obviously Porto have got this far. They clearly aren't a slouch of a team. If we just have a quick look at their team, I want to see who their best player is. I'm curious. Their best player is Moises Francisco. He is a Brazilian centre-back. And to be fair, he looks pretty good. But compared to our squad, I'm going to go out and say it, I think we should be winning this. It looks like they've got some okay defenders. Garcia is their star striker. To be fair, he is pretty good. Of course, Boyer would love to be playing against his former club today. He was their star player before we poached him away for 56 million. It'd be fair to say that the numbers he's put up for us aren't quite the numbers he's put up for Porto, but of course he's had this extended injury. I'm hoping that we'll go into next year and he'll be a bit of a Gonzalez. You know, he'll start performing kind of when he needs to, after he's had a bit of time, I suppose, to get acclimatised to the Premier League. Okay, game day. Serious face on, everyone. I want a cup final. The second of 3 matches today. We're wearing the green suit, the iconic red trousers. I feel like I need a suit like my Football Manager one in real life. If anyone knows where I can get a green suit and red trousers, I mean, let me know, please. I'd love to have some insight there. Anyway, this is going to be tough. Away from home, they're definitely going to feel like they've got a chance. I feel like we've got the better team, but I am concerned about fatigue. You can see already the condition of a lot of our players is kind of into the murky green zone. Whereas for them, I say that, they all just drop to the murky green zone. For them, a lot of their players seem to have just a tiny bit more condition. And I'll get a bit of deja vu here. First highlight of the game, 40 minutes in. It's a back post ball. Lorenzo heads over. Reminds me of the United game. There's absolutely nothing going on in the first half. I really do value the away goal. An away goal just gives us a little bit more to work with. But of course, with all the injuries we've got in the final third, we know that it's going to be a struggle. And to be fair, you know what? For a Porto team who I said we should be beating easily, that they are going toe-to-toe with us right now. I'm going to do a shout, and I think I'm going to make some subs as well here. Silver on a booking concerns me, but he's going to have to play. Smith's been poor today, so I'll bring in Ionu. I'm tempted, actually, to take Amlo off for Cameron Ferguson. He's not had too many games this year, but this is your time to shine, Cameron. I feel like Amlo's form's been a bit hit and miss. Cameron Ferguson, a player we signed a number of years ago. He's had a few loan spells out. Yet to make a league appearance yet this year, but with all the injuries, we don't really have any other options in terms of new strikers, and I feel like he's the man to bring on. Have we just... Did Miguel... That looked outside the box, referee. That looked outside... It's a free kick. Okay, I was about to say, it looked like that foul was outside the box. That was a heart-in-mouth moment. 19 minutes left. And we have the ball here. Ionu, fresh legs on off the bench. You should be doing them for pace here, son. He's burnt them. He's like bloody Roadrunner. Look at him go. He can't finish it. He has the finishing of Roadrunner as well. Can do all the running, but can't do any kicking of a football. 78 minutes gone. Suddenly, there's only 12 minutes left in this game, and there's a few highlights. Kike bringing the ball forward for Porto here. Down the near side, it's blocked to Irk. Miguel Antonio lumps it forward. I mean... I feel like the tactic of lump it forward and hope Ionu can run onto it probably isn't the best one, especially with balls like that. Lind wins the header though there, and it goes to Moses Francisco. Kike with the ball on this near side does his man. That is unconvincing defending to say the very least. Gutierrez free to put the ball in. Edge of the box, it's hit. Oh my word. Sorry? It's a very good goal. Someone has been booked as well after the goal's gone in. I don't know what he said. I can only assume it's unsavoury celebrations by Gutierrez. But yeah, Gutierrez here whips in the ball to the edge of the box. Then first time, he just does that. Fair enough. Right, I'm in a bit of a dilemma here because Irk isn't meant to play the full game. But Lind is tired. I'm going to bring in Van Dijk out on the left wing. And I think we've got to go for it, everyone. I think we've got to just be a little bit more direct, less passing it out from the back. But 10 minutes left, a goal down, away from home. This is not a good result at this point. That was an unnecessary foul by the goal scorer there. Why are you doing that to Lind? Why you got to do him like that? I mean, I'm going to be honest, everyone. We have just not turned up for this game. But with 5 minutes left, a fresh front three... Van Dijk with maybe a fire in his belly. Maybe he can do something here. Ionu skips past his man, hits it. Huge save by Dragowski. That is the best chance we've had all game, and it's Ionu kicking it straight at the goalkeeper. I feel like that's a habit of his at this point. Ball whipped in. We can't find Piotr like we did in the United game. Time is just trickling away here. I don't want to overcommit going forward and concede a second. And ultimately, we're going to have to settle for a 1-0 defeat. Clearly missing our big boys in the final third. We didn't really turn up in this game anywhere on the pitch, which is a bit of a problem. You can see here in the other game, Bayern also won the home leg 1-0. What it does mean is that in tomorrow's opening game of tomorrow's episode where we're taking on Porto, we've got quite a bit to do. Also, apparently I can apply for a work permit for Twardzik. Let's do that again. I'm really surprised he didn't get a work permit last time, because he's been playing a lot for the Czech Republic national team. As you can see here, he's had a pretty good loan spell at Getafe in terms of getting regular first-team football, which is nice. Anyway, we're not going to worry about that work permit too much. We are going to worry about the next game, which I think is only a matter of days away. It's Everton at home. It's our final home league game of the season. We need a win in this one. I think we're going to slip up at some point. We need to win this. Wolves, maybe they can slip up. Also, that game against Porto was really, really bad. Let's move on from it. Okay, game number 3, the final match of today's episode. We need to win it because Wolves have just won. Wolves, right when they need to, have started winning every single league game that they need to win. They've beaten Chelsea, they've beaten Liverpool. I'm going to be honest, I would back them to beat Arsenal and back them to beat bottom of the table Sheffield United. So suddenly, there's a lot of pressure on us. I guess we can technically afford to draw a game. Our goal difference is significantly better. But obviously, with our current striking situation, it's a little bit of a task right now. The rotation that I'm doing is only serving us so well. You know, we've been, dropping players here and there. I may even need to start Ionu for today's game, to be honest, because I'm a little concerned about fitness levels. Unfortunately, and I'm going to sound like a broken record here, apparently Gonzalez can play but is short of being fit. Boyer, by comparison, apparently they can both go on the bench. But they're not ready to start. I hate starting players who are carrying injuries like this, but it might be a case of have them there as kind of emergency options. So we are slowly getting some fitness back. Obviously, Puyana's still out injured. Bill Summers as well. Unfortunately, he's got injured. The injuries in the final third are kind of mad. I wouldn't mind a few to centre mids or to defenders, to be honest. But it does mean that for today's game, it's going to be Irk, it's going to be Amlo, it's going to be Smith. It's fairly standard, to be honest. It's the team that I've become accustomed to over the last month or so, with this kind of makeshift front three. And we're going to hope we can get a result against an Everton team who, at one point, were actually challenging, for a Europa League spot. But given where they are now, given where we are now, this is a game. We have to win it. I feel like our next two games away from home are going to be maybe even more tricky than this. Particularly the one that we've got against Tottenham, who I think currently sit third in the league. I've kind of not been paying as much attention to the likes of Chelsea and Manchester United. I think they actually played each other and Chelsea won. But basically, they're so far away now. You can see here, they're both on 69 points. They are out of the title race. They can't win the league. Tottenham in third. I think they have a very, very outside chance. Hopefully, though, we're just going to beat them, And it's all going to be fine. We'll have to see how we go here. Langford, Phillips, Capana, Nunes. Big ball forward. Smith wins the header, though. Are we about to have a highlight straight from kickoff? I don't know if I like this or not. I like this, though. Van Dijk bringing it forward. Smith battling for it. He's still got the defensive winger in him, everyone. Sampaio tries to get the ball into the box unsuccessfully. But have another go, Sampaio. Back to Van Dijk. This is really nice passing. Van Dijk inside. It's not a bad way to start the game, everyone. That's not the bad way to start the game. Maybe I should have started Van Dijk against Porto. After all, he had his own little game with Sampaio here, kind of out in the wide areas. Ghosts inside. No one picks him up. They're concerned by the three men in the middle. I think Travers is probably going to feel a little bit disappointed to get beaten at the near post there, but the shot squeezes in. And, breathe a sigh of relief, everyone. We're a goal up early on. Hopefully that's going to be the first of a few. And this is going to be a nice, simple, plain sailing final game of the episode after, two games that have been quite contrasting. Delighted, obviously, to beat United. That's put us in a great position. But that loss against Porto stings. Amlo, great chance. I'll tell you what, Travers, if you were at fault for the first goal, my friend, the Everton fans, they should be forgiving you because you've just made a save to keep your team in it. Although Piotr, oh my word, he's made another one. I've criticised him and now he's pulled off two worldy saves in goal for them. I'm sure Piotr thought he'd scored again there. Second goal in 2 league games it would have been for him. Unfortunately for us, Everton are going to deal with it and get the ball clear. But I don't know, 25 minutes gone. We've got Piotr. Where's your head, son? There's his head. Unfortunately, it's found Langford. But Smith to collect the ball. Plays it inside to Lind. Down to Smith. Van Dijk now in the middle. Sampaio. Players queuing up here. Lind, Irk. He can hit them from here. He goes back to Lind. Sampaio. Quite narrow here in shape. Irk. That ball is incredible. Smith. Should have finished it. Van Dijk would have finished it from there. They're straight into the keeper's hand. Their keeper is keeping them in it now. He's on a 7.2 after 30 minutes. Our XG is slowly clocking up. Theirs is not off the mark yet. Everton yet to have a shot inside the first 36 minutes. And that gives you an idea of how this game has played out thus far. I know, dispossessed by Ralph. And we apply pressure high up the pitch, try and force a turnover in possession. Everton actually passing the ball quite nicely out the back until then. Miguel Antonio, he reads it like a book. If you were wondering, Miguel Antonio's favourite book is The Hungry Caterpillar. It's what inspired him to become a ball-winning midfielder. And Amlo should have scored that, shouldn't he? Travers makes another save. But disappointing. We'll shout to man more. We'll get shouty. Piotr. It's dealt with, but it goes to Irk. Lind, you can score these, Lind. He lays off to Miguel Antonio. I shouldn't encourage him to shoot from range, although I mean, that works. He's not missed that one, to be fair to him, Amlo. Criticised his finishing a little bit. Van Dijk now with a goal and an assist in this game against Everton. I think he's doing that for Virgil. He's avenging Virgil, everyone, even though it's 12 years on from the Merseyside derby where Virgil van Dijk got injured. It's a lovely finish by Amlo. He hits it home like a sledgehammer. Absolutely no mercy as he blasted that into the back of the net. And I don't want to speak too prematurely here. I think this game's won, he says in the first half. I'm asking for trouble here. They've done absolutely nothing, though, it has to be said. If we get a third, then it's all about just bolstering our goal difference as much as possible at that point, I imagine. With a little bit of space in front of him here. Everton backing off. He cuts inside. Skips past one, skips past two. And then the ball skips past the post. Disappointing effort at the end of that run. But we've got to throw in, everyone. Not had many long throws as of late. But Sampaio maybe to do one here. Big throw forward. Miguel Antonio. I mean, there you go. It's like I've talked it into existence, everyone. 3-0 right before half-time. And it's, was that Sampaio with the header? No, it was Sampaio with this. Miguel Antonio with the header. The ball-winning midfielder, to be fair, is actually quite good in the air there. I'm not sure what the keeper's doing. He's having a little daydream. They can't hang. It's 3-0 here. And it might sound premature with 45 minutes left to say, but I think we're going back to the top of the table. And goal difference is really, really in our favour at this point. Of course, I am worrying about tomorrow's episode, where we do have Tottenham to play to kick things off in terms of league games. Of all the teams we could have to play, that is not a team I want to be playing this late on. Anyway, 25 minutes left. Everton with the ball. Jones to Núñez. They've got options in the middle here. Jones again with it. Ralph kind of dispossessed there. The interception well read by Erk. Amlo flicks it on to nobody, but he's going to chase it. Look at him chase. Trying to force an error, and while the keeper forced to go long, turns over the ball. Smith, Van Dijk. What a ball that is to Amlo. The keeper is in no man's land, but make no mistake, that pass by Van Dijk is incredible. Amlo did well to get on the end of it, to be fair, but the keeper just completely caught off. And, well, just in no man's land, I think is probably the best way to describe it. Smith, Van Dijk, that ball perfectly weighted. And Amlo gets there first, makes it 4-0. And you know what, this is probably a good time to bring in Boyer, to bring in Gonzalez potentially as well, although that would mean taking off Amlo. I just want to try and build a little bit of match fitness in the team. I'm going to take off Lind as well, because he's looked tired the last few matches. But this now feels like an opportunity to rest some legs. This has been a dominant display, though. The kind of performance you expect from champions. I do have to question where this team was when we took on Porto just, in the game before this. It's like two different teams that have turned up here. I can assure you I didn't accidentally play the second best 11 against Porto in a need to rest players. That's a great tackle by Miguel Antonio. Ricketts, fresh off the bench, has, energy to burn, as will Ionu and Boyer. Still 20 minutes left. Still 20 minutes left to score a few more. 20 minutes left for Amlo to get a hat-trick maybe. Boyer, fresh off the bench. Back to Sampaio. Should go left here. Should go left. Does. Ionu, Ricketts, Navio. Superb build-up play, oh my word. If Navio shoots that into the top corner, it's suddenly one of the best goals you've ever seen. Unfortunately, it's just gone just over the crossbar at this point. Boyer flicks it on. Raheem with it. For them, I mean, I don't think they're going to come back even if they score one here. I don't want to speak too prematurely. Even now with 13 minutes left. I'd like the clean sheet, though. We're not going to have it. Toby gets beaten by Barker. It was a nice goal, to be fair. A really, really nice ball by Ralph. And that was his 100th goal for Everton. I mean, I'm glad he scored his 100th goal for Everton in a match that really matters. A really exciting opportunity to score it in. I mean, make up your own. I'm suitably underwhelmed by that goal. That's not one he's going to remember too fondly, I think, of the 100 goals. Everton's first shot on target does result in a goal. Does that mean I can blame... our goalie for that? Just it's his fault. Okay, never mind. It's 5-1, everyone. Ionu's getting in on the score sheet. You're bad if Ionu scores against you. I say that. He scored a fair few this year. I'm a bit harsh on Ionu, just because I feel like he's missed quite a few good opportunities. That, to be fair, was a difficult finish on the volley. I'm still thinking about the fact Toby conceded a goal. His only shot that he's had to deal with all game and it went in. It might have been on one-on-one, Toby, but you've let me down, son. It's the high standards we pursue here at Nottingham Forest. Anyway, Jones with the ball, plays it inside to Raheem. Phillips now with it. Markovic on the overlap. Plays it forward to Phillips. I mean, they've scored. Toby! Wake up, Toby! To be fair, that was quite a good finish. Even if it did squeeze in at the near post, Phillips is going to run away to the halfway line to celebrate. I mean, 5-2 still pretty good, but it feels like one of those games where it could have been 5-0, and it would just look a little bit prettier. Good finish, though. I mean, you know what, Toby? If you can have an off game, this probably isn't the worst game to not be making any saves. It's going to finish 5-2 here. Really, really good team performance. I can't ask for much more than that. Puts us back top of the table. 2 league games left of the year. That second leg of the Europa League. Tomorrow's episode just continues to keep things up. We have officially qualified for the Champions League, everyone. And we've actually secured a top 2 finish as well. So we are guaranteed, I think, our highest ever Premier League finish, which is pretty huge. In terms of budget for next year, wage budget of 3.2 million, transfer budget of 55 million. We're currently spending 2.8 million on wages. So that's quite a nice little increase, to be fair. And of course, we don't need that Europa Conference League spot anymore. Amlo did get man of the match with his 2 goals. You know what, Amlo? You've done okay since I've called upon you to slot in. 5 goals in 8 Premier League starts and 7 off the bench. Maybe a little underwhelming. But he's been chipping in with goals here and there. He's got some important ones for us today, it feels like. Unfortunately, still being stalked by PSG. Not sure when the restraining order's coming through, but we can hope that he'll sort it out soon. You can see, just looking at things here, it is just ourselves and Wolves in a 2-horse race here. There is 2 games left of the season. They will be coming your way tomorrow. We've got Tottenham, who are currently in 3rd, and then we've got Wolves. No, we've got West Brom in 16th. I'm just thinking about Wolves. Who have Wolves got in their final 2 games? It feels like it's all to be fought for. They have got Arsenal, and then they've got Sheffield United. Oh, if you could slip up to Arsenal, that would be delightful. Let us secure the game. Or the title with a game to spare. That is the dream at this point. But anyway, gang, I'm going to wrap things up there for today. I hope you have enjoyed this double header. In terms of next episode, I think we'll do it 100% live. So buckle up, get strapped in, maybe get some popcorn ready for tomorrow's episode, and hopefully I will see you guys then. It is me, Jack. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.